It's a postcard kind of evening in Cincinnati, Ohio, as we're set for Central Division rivalry baseball as the St. Louis Cardinals come a-calling for 3. And you'll see it all coming up on Fox Sports Ohio. And hi again, everyone. Alongside Chris Welsh, I'm Jim Day. So glad he could join us for Reds baseball. The Reds will go after their 3rd consecutive series victory. And Chris, I know it's a small sample size, but of late, the Reds bats have really woken up.
Hey, anything to get the guys feeling better about themselves, like swinging a hot bat. How about since the 30th of May, first in the league of all these different categories, runs per game, average on base, slugging percentage, 19 home runs since the 1st of May, or since the 30th of May, and also stealing some bases too. So that'll get you going a little bit. Obviously, you need some pitching to go along with that, but that kind of brings the clubhouse together when you put some W's together.
The Reds will give the ball to lefty John Lamb, and Chris, they hope that he can duplicate the last time out because it was the best start of his young major league career.
He threw the ball really well, and to me, he threw the ball aggressively, came right after the hitters, you know, and in Denver, that's something that a lot of pitchers don't do. I think he may have learned a little bit from sitting on the sidelines and watching Reds pitchers previous to him in that series nibble around the corner, miss, get yourself into hitters' counts, and then get clobbered. He went right after him last time out. The Reds had some double plays behind him, and if he does the same thing tonight, hit the corners and change speeds. That's a big thing for John Lamb. That changeup of his is going to be very important tonight, along with that slow curveball.
For the Cardinals, they'll get Johnny Peralta back. He'll make his season debut coming back from injury, but it won't be at shortstop because the rookie Aledmus Diaz has impressed, and he has taken that position over.
Well, he's impressed since spring training, and he's come on. He was only supposed to be a part-time fill-in guy for the Cardinals until Peralta comes off the list. But now he's played so well with a .328 batting average, 16 doubles, that they're not taking him out of the lineup. In fact, they were so down on him last year, they took him off the roster. Any team could have picked him up at his $8 million guaranteed salary, but he is right in the center of things for the Cardinals right now, a guy certainly to contend with in this series.
Going to be a boatload of emotions going through the mind of that guy. Former Red Mike Leake will get the ball for the Cards.
You know, it's going to be weird, both for Mike Leake and the Reds players. They step into the batter's box and look out there, and it's going to look like an inter-squad game. But the fact is, it's for real. Mike Leake is throwing the ball extremely well right now. The Reds are hitting the ball well right now. This is going to be a fun matchup to watch tonight.
First time that Leake will face the Reds in a different uniform. Coming up, Home Sweet Homers. Jeff Pecoro has that story when we come back on Fox Sports Ohio.
Said a beautiful night here at the ballpark, and this ballpark has been good for the Reds. It's time now for our Lowe's Home Field Advantage, and tonight's Lowe's Home Field Advantage has to deal with home runs in the National League at home. The Reds lead the way. Guys like Suarez and Duvall and Bruce. As a matter of fact, Bruce and Duvall 2 home runs apiece over the weekend. So when you look and it's all said and done, the Reds are leading the entire National League in home runs at home with 45. The Cardinals are next at 39. D-backs have 38. The Rockies and the Brewers check in with 36 apiece. The weather's perfect. The balls have been flying out of the ballpark. Let's hope the Reds get a couple of more tonight. It is Lamb versus Leake, a righty versus lefty. We get this series started when we return. Jim and Chris are right back after this.
Brought to you by Chevy. Check out their award-winning lineup only at your Tri-State Chevy dealer. By Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Stay close to CincinnatiUSA.com. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. Lefty John Lamb out of the dugout, leading his Reds troops onto the field, coming off of his best start of his young career. Mike Matheny, the Cardinals manager, the Reynoldsburg, Ohio native. 5th season as a Cardinals skipper, .574 winning percentage. And here's how Mike Matheny will line them up tonight. And again, he gets Johnny Peralta back. It'll be Matt Carpenter leading off. Aledmus Diaz, the electrifying rookie in the 2-hole. 3, 4, and 5 are Holiday, Piscotti, and Peralta. Matt Adams will be at first base. Yadier Molina behind the plate. Randall Grichuk batting 8th, and batting 9th, the former Red Mike Leake. John Lamb, the keys to his success tonight would be what, Chris?
Well,
Welsh?
throwing over the plate, and actually not just throwing the ball over the plate. You can't do that to big league hitters without hitting your quarters a little bit. Changing speeds for Lamb, it'll be start number 7 for him. He's coming off, as you said, Jim, his best start of the year. That was in Denver. His earned run average is still way up there because when he goes bad, his bad starts have been awful. He gave up 7 runs in 4 innings in 1 ball game against the Cleveland Indians, and he also was beaten in Milwaukee by giving up 6 runs in 3 innings. So, you know, he's a guy that is still learning his way to the major leagues. He's got plenty of stuff. His fastball will go up around 90, 91 miles an hour, maybe 92 on a good night. He's got a good curveball, a cutter, a changeup, and that curveball that he throws that's in the mid-60s, along with that changeup, will be very key to keeping the Cardinals away from his fastball tonight.
And he'll try to use that sun field in center field and left to his advantage. First couple of innings always tough when the sun is shining. To see that baseball here at GABP, Billy Hamilton and Adam Duvall will battle that sun as well in the outfield. Here's Carpenter, left-handed hitter against the left-handed pitcher. First pitch on the way, and this game is underway. First pitch a strike. Ron Caldwell behind home plate calling balls and strikes. Chris Conroy at first. Jerry Meals, the crew chief, at second. Sean Barber down at third. Lamb with the second offering. Fouled back. Matt Carpenter yesterday named as the National League Player of the Week. The week of May 30th through June 5th. Hit a cool .560, 7 extra base hits, including 2 triples in a game, and scored 10 runs in 6 games. Always loves to work that count, and one of the toughest outs in baseball. Little soft roller. The Reds have the shift on. That's the shortstop, Zach Cozart. 1 down. Here's your 4 defensive lineup for the Reds. Duvall, Hamilton, and Bruce in the outfield. Suarez, Cozart, Phillips, and Votto in the infield. Hanging the signs tonight for John Lamb, Ramon Cabrera. As here's Aledmys Diaz. 25-year-old hailing from Cuba. He has set the world on fire. .328 average, 8 home runs, 30 runs driven in, .359 on base percentage.
Now, one of the keys to Diaz as a hitter so far this year is he's extremely quick on an inside pitch. Anybody that tries to come inside on him, if you don't get it in off the plate, they found out in a hurry that he can get that bat through the zone. So likely the Reds will stay down and away with him right here, maybe even with some breaking pitches, trying to make him fish a little bit.
0-2 pitch. Soft grounder. Suarez. Votto. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, getting ahead of the hitters right away is what John Lamb has done. He went 0-2 to Carpenter. He gets ahead of Diaz right here, and both go down on that breaking ball that they take kind of slow swings on. So you know your curveball is good when the hitter actually slows his swing down to make contact.
Lamb has thrown 6 pitches, all strikes. First pitch to Matt Holliday. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 7 pitches, 7 strikes. Holliday, a .254 hitter. 9 long balls, 31 runs driven in. This Cardinal team can flat out hit. Hitting has not been their problem. They come in 3 games over 500. In fact, this is the 7th time this season that Mike Matheny's club has been 3 games over 500. They have yet to reach 4 games over 500. For whatever reason, that 3 games over mark has been a stopping point.
Well, the real stopping point right now for the Cardinals is the team in first place, 10.5 games in front of them. That would be the Chicago Cubs.
0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did. So a perfect 1-2-3 inning for John Lamb. Reds coming up. Will lead off for Cincinnati, and here's how Brian Bryce will line them up. Cozart followed by Votto, Phillips, Bruce, and Duvall. Eugenio Suarez, Billy Hamilton hitting 7th, Ramon Cabrera 8th, and on the mound batting 9th, John Lamb. And towing the slab on a mound he's very familiar with, Mike Leake facing the Reds for the first time.
You know, sometimes when you warm up, you're worried about your breaking ball, your fastball. Mike Leake's worried about his emotions, I'm sure, in this game.
First pitch swinging is Zach Cozart, lazy fly ball to center. Grichuk has it for the first down.
The thing to keep in mind about Mike Leake, and we saw him pitch for a long time, came right out of college, right to the major leagues, very impressive, very polished young pitcher when the Reds drafted him. But we saw him go through streaks where he couldn't get anybody out, and then he would go through streaks where he made the game look so easy that he would just weave through very good lineups with seemingly no effort at all. He's in a good groove right now, and that means for Leake, throwing the ball where he wants to, controlling the first base side of home plate with his fastball, and having good separation between his fastball and his changeup.
1-0 count to Joey Votto in there for a strike. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Leake is on, he's getting a lot of ground balls.
You're right, and that's one of the things that did him wrong early in the year. The first 4 starts he had, the Cardinals played deplorable defense behind him. They made 8 errors in his first 4 starts. One reason why he started off so poorly.
1-1 pitch, left center field, over Grichuk's head, off the wall. Votto will stroll into second with a double. So how do you do, Mike Leake? First at bat against Joey Votto. Votto wins this duel.
Yeah, it looked like Leake went to some kind of a breaking pitch right there. That could have been a changeup. Probably what it was. There's the circle change grip, and he just got that ball up, and that's feed time for Joey Votto.
And now Brandon Phillips with 1 down and Votto at second base. You had mentioned Leake jumping right to the major leagues, was the 21st player to do such thing without appearing in 1 minor league game. And that's since the MLB's draft inception in 1965, becoming the 21st player to do so, and was the first since Xavier Nady did it back in 2000.
And if you're thinking that there may be a player in this year's draft doing that, maybe not so. From what I've heard talking to the scouts that are involved in that, they say that there are some good players in this draft, no doubt, but maybe none that are major league ready.
Draft coming up Thursday night, and a big one for Cincinnati because they have the 2nd overall pick, the 35th pick, and the 43rd pick. And they also have the largest bonus pool. First 2 rounds will be on Thursday night. 1-1 the count to the Reds' second baseman. Leake's got what he wants. Here he comes. 1-2. Leake overall 4-4, 3.82 ERA, but in his last 5, 4-1 with a 1.59 ERA. So he has certainly turned the corner. 1-2 pitch upstairs. And Mike Matheny's been raving about Leake, saying this is exactly what we expected. Quality start nearly every time he goes out there. Solid, consistent. Leake signed a 5-year free agent contract with the Cardinals in December, so get used to him in a Cardinals uniform. The 2-2. We're full. Three balls, 2 strikes. Votto will take his lead from second. And the payoff pitch. Fouled back. Cardinals are coming off of taking 2 out of 3 over the Giants in St. Louis. And a couple of comeback victories to boot. And we'll talk about it more when they're at the plate, but their offensive numbers have been off the charts this season. Fouled back again. Talking to some of the media members that cover the Cardinals, not used to them saying, you know, starting pitching has been part of the problem, and they have not played good defense behind their pitchers either. In fact, both of these clubs, the Reds and Cardinals, are at the bottom of the league statistically defensively. Here comes the 3-2 again. Ground ball to short. Votto can't go anywhere. An easy play for Diaz, and 2 outs. Here's your 4 defensive lineup for the Cardinals. As usual, Matt Holliday in left, Grichuk in center, Stephen Piscotty in right field. Around the infield, Peralta at third base, not shortstop. Diaz is the shortstop. Carpenter moves from third to second base. Matt Adams at first. And one of the best we've ever seen, Yadier Molina behind the plate. Here's Jay Bruce.
This is the one matchup that I think really favors the Red against Leake. The way Bruce is hitting the ball and the way Leake stuff really doesn't match up in order to get Bruce out. The pitchers that have done well against Bruce, will come right in on him and challenge him. I'm not so sure that Leake is trying to do that. Although Molina wanted that last pitch inside, Leake left it way outside.
Long look in by Leake.
A little indecision.
Now back.
Had one right there, a little cutter that kind of left out over the inner third right there. That's a pitch designed to get right on the corner or even more inside. See where Molina's set up and see where the pitch is. As a pitcher, that's one you get away with. As a hitter, that's one you think, I like to get that one back.
The 1-1 to Bruce. There goes Votto. Not even a throw.
Smart play by Votto, and also a smart play by the Cardinals. In fact, Molina never even gave another look. Last thing they want to do is leave their position like over at third base and then have Bruce dribble a little ground ball where he just left.
So Votto now at third. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. In the air to center. Grichuk going back, and the Reds strand 1. We're through 1, scoreless at GABP.
Second inning here. I'm Jeff Picoro, and hey, good news for the Reds. After St. Louis leaves town, the next 6 opponents, 5, look at that, Oakland, Houston, and San Diego, along with Atlanta, all under 500. It's our Elk and Elk storylines, winning percentages. So the Reds get a little bit of a break after St. Louis. The only team with a winning percentage is Texas coming to town. So Jimmy, Chris, maybe this is time you make some hay.
Well, it was a brutal schedule to begin the season as Stephen Piscotty first pitch swinging a single into right field. Reds had the toughest schedule in baseball to start.
Yeah, but let's be honest about that. I mean, the Reds would have had a hard time beating anybody in baseball early in the year. The way the pitching was, the way those guys that were in the bullpen that were given certain slots were unable to perform in those slots. Brian Price really left to despair to who to bring in at any time because nobody was doing the job. The Reds weren't hitting, they weren't pitching. So, maybe now that they're beginning to gel, they can take advantage of a better schedule.
Here's Johnny Peralta, first at-bat of the season. Been on the disabled list since spring training with a fractured left thumb. See his numbers from last season. And Lamb, that was the first ball he's thrown in this game. He threw 9 pitches in the first inning, all for strikes. And the last Reds pitcher to not throw a ball in the first inning was Alfredo Simon way back in June of 2014.
Good stat. Joel Luckham is on his game tonight.
Lucky. Johnny Peralta was penciled in to be the Cardinals shortstop. He fractured the thumb, and along came Aledmus Diaz, who was impressed so much that Peralta, when he went on a minor league rehab stint, played primarily at third base.
Well, the injury that Peralta had was one that he sustained while he was playing defense, very similar to that of Yadier Molina when he went the backhand of ball in spring training and essentially, bent his whole wrist and thumb back. And it's taken a long time to get him back to form.
1-2 pitch to Peralta, swing and a miss.
2 changeups in that at bat, and that's really the problem of coming back off of rehab. That's the kind of pitch you do not see in the minor leagues. Lamb has had a good changeup so far tonight and a good curveball as well. Look at the backspin on that ball. The backspin on that ball gives the hitter the impression that that's a fastball coming. That's where the real deception comes, with arm speed and the spin of the pitch.
So with one down and a man on first, Matt Adams. Or Mount Adams.
Or Grizzly.
Grizzly Adams. Many names for the big fella. 325 average. 27 runs driven in.
Well, the way he's swinging the bat right now, he's in there all the time. He would normally not play much against left-handed pitching. But they like his thump, and you make a mistake and he runs into it and he launches it a long way.
0-1 pitch. I'm not sure of his exact spray chart, but talking to the Cardinals broadcasters, they say a majority of his hits have come the other way. But the Reds have the shift on him again, and we've seen him against the Reds go the other way a lot.
Well, you know, you got to ask yourself, though. I mean, is it okay for Matt Adams to take a little single the next way, the other way? I mean, those hits to left field, I guarantee you, there are not a whole lot of home runs out there.
Right.
The ones to right field, some of those have left the ballpark.
Pretty even, Steven. It's by direction. Nonetheless,
I would imagine also that a lot of those hits that have gone to left field are probably two-strike hits that he shortened up a little bit and thought about taking it the other way.
There goes the runner. They got him picked off. Votto down to Cozart, and he's a dead duck. Caught stealing on the play for the second out, and a big one for John Lamb.
Kind of interesting, really, right there. Piscotty just takes off really before Lamb makes any move at all, and I don't know whether he was, you know, just trying to get a super big break or exactly what was going on. I doubt if it was going to be a hit and run. Maybe a sneak attack that backfired.
8th pickoff by Reds pitcher this year. That's tied for the most in the National League. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tell you what, getting Peralta back into this lineup really stretches it out for the Cardinals, because you've got Molina batting 7th, and even though he has been scuffling of late and big time, still always a dangerous hitter, particularly in key situations. The dribbler is going to be a tough one in the shift. He's going to have to put it in the back pocket there. Infield single, Matt Adams.
Grown man hit that ball.
That's a big grown man.
A large grown man. You're right. You know what, though? You'll take him any way you can get him. That's a good pitch by Lamb. It goes to show you not every time you make a good pitch are you going to get a good result.
And Yadier Molina getting his typical reception here at GABP.
You don't want to wake this guy up.
No.
I mean, you know, the 256 average does not really show you how bad it's been for Molina lately. He snapped an 0 for 21 streak on Sunday with a base hit. So he's just, you know, some people who have watched him play are saying, you know, he's just beginning to wear out a little bit. He catches so many games. He's been so important to this ball club over the years. You just wonder how long he's able to sustain.
Looks like he's got some added neck ink to the arsenal. Even through that 0 for 21 skid, reporters talking to Molina, he said, "I'm still hitting the ball hard." He put the ball in play to drive in the go-ahead run in that 4-run 6th on Sunday. And he even told reporters, "Listen, I'm dangerous every time I go up there. I've shown it over my career." Whether he's wearing down or not, as confident as they come, and defensively still off the charts. Lamb ahead 0-2. One and 2. And the 1-2 pitch from Lamb. 2-2. Yadier Molina, now 33 years of age, hailing from Puerto Rico. Selected in the 4th round in the June 2000 free agent draft. He has been around the block a few times. Fought that one off. Stays 2-2.
Yeah, you really wonder when it's all said and done for Yadier Molina. Right now, a 282 lifetime hitter. He's hit 100 home runs, or right at it. Has not reached 1,000 runs batted in. If you go by numbers, the answer is no. But if you go by importance to a ball club, is this guy a Hall of Fame player?
If the criteria is importance to a ball club, he's a first ballot guy. But
you know,
like you said, those numbers are usually the ones that are dissected.
That's the one thing that kind of disturbs me. You know, you ask a writer, you know, they're the ones that vote on it, right? And you say, well, is this guy a Hall of Fame player? And the first thing they say is, well, let me go check his numbers.
What are his numbers?
And I said, well, if you need that, all you need is a computer algorithm to figure out whether guys belong in a Hall of Fame. But I think that what Molina has given his ball club through his entire career should warrant some serious consideration. Because the Cardinals would not have been the Cardinals without Yadier Molina behind the plate.
Swing and a miss. And Lamb is through 2, scoreless. Bottom of the 2nd, Adam Duvall will lead off for Cincinnati. He's the focus of our IGS Bringing the Energy. National League's highest percentage of hits that are extra base hits, 62.5% of the time. When he gets on base, it's an extra base hit. It has been quite impressive. And here's the list that he joins. Better than all those guys on that list. Chris Carter, Trevor Story, his teammate Jay Bruce, and Matt Carpenter, 3 of which are in this game. Now here is an interesting at bat right here. One, Mike Leake and Adam Duvall were traded for each other. Mike Leake traded last year to the Giants. Adam Duvall was part of that trade. They have another connection. Adam Duvall's first career hit was a home run when he was a Giant, and it came off of Mike Leake, and he slaps it right back up the middle for a hit. So the trade for trade at bat goes Duvall's way.
Funny how things change, Joe. Really, that's a cutter that Leake just hangs right up there. That's just doing nothing right there except saying hit me to Adam Duvall. But you know, Adam Duvall has surprised a lot of people to see where he is right now, up top the leaderboard in a lot of different categories for sluggers in the National League. But how things have changed so much, because now all of a sudden you get to the point where you expected out of Duvall. No longer is he a surprise. He's somebody that you have to depend on.
How far do you go into the season before the league starts making their adjustments, and that hitter has to make that famous adjustment to an adjustment?
I think they're trying right now. And Duvall, I've had some conversations recently with him, including today. He's just trying to keep everything in perspective. You know, not trying to do anything special or different.
Adams, the big fellow, runs it down. So 1 out as he runs down the foul ball off the bat of Eugenio Suarez, and here's Billy Hamilton.
I mean, they've tried everything with Adam Duvall. They've tried pounding him inside with fastballs. They've tried making him chase breaking pitches down and away. But the key for Duvall is not chasing too many pitches out of the zone. The better he commands the strike zone, the better hitter he will be.
16 home runs for Adam Duvall, 2nd in the National League, 2nd in slugging percentage, 2nd with 30 extra base hits. Hamilton slaps one the other way. 2 on 1 down for Cincinnati.
Well, you'll take that all day and all night out of Billy Hamilton right there. You have to bring the third baseman in because you're worried about the bunt. That opens up the slot on the left side. And not all that bad of a pitch at all by Mike Leake for a first pitch in the at-bat. But look how late Billy Hamilton swings. He doesn't get too aggressive, doesn't jump at that pitch. I'll tell you, I got to feel that Billy Hatcher over there at third base is just so delighted every time he sees Hamilton with that swing. because they're finally doing what they've tried to get Hamilton to do the last few years.
Ramon Cabrera grounder to second, trouble here. 4-6-3 double play, inning ender. So Leake gets out of trouble, and we're still scoreless at Great American Ballpark. Register for your chance to win at an upcoming game by seeing your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. And while we have a moment, we'd like to give a shout out to a longtime season ticket member, Lauren Dries, who is cheering on the Reds from her home in Crescent Springs this evening. Lauren, thanks for being a Reds fan, and we salute you on this night. All right, here's Randall Grichuk to lead off the third inning for the Cardinals. Fouled back in a 1-1 count.
You know, some pitchers pitch north and south, up and down. Some pitch east and west. But Lamb pitches more plus and minus, meaning he throws hard and then he throws slow and then he throws slower, then he throws hard again.
Hard hit grounder to Suarez. Tough throw. Votto couldn't get the tag on. And another error for Eugenio Suarez. That's his 11th error of the season.
You know, I think the Reds have the same battle ahead of them with Suarez that the Cardinals have with Aledmys Diaz. They're both young players. They're both very talented. They both have plenty of arm and good glove, but it's a matter of consistency and getting your feet set, getting the mindset of being able to throw the ball with the same kind of tempo over the first base every time. Sometimes you take a little bit off the ball and it floats on you. And it's very common in young players. It's something that you're just going to have to work your way through.
Here's the pitcher, Mike Leake, will square around the bunt, and a nice one. Votto to Phillips. Sacrifice 3-4. So a runner in scoring position for Matt Carpenter.
Getting back to the comment about Leake, about being able to add it, about John Lamb being able to add and subtract. That's a big thing. Leake does the same thing. And of course, you add and you subtract. You try to constantly keep one step ahead of the hitter as far as his timing goes. You never want to make him feel comfortable in there. You don't have the fastball that can overpower him, so you have to use timing as your best weapon.
Matt Carpenter, 4th in the National League in runs scored with 39. 5th in doubles. He's drawn 33 walks this year, top 10. Tied for second with 4 triples. And tied for second with Adam Duvall with 30 extra base hits. Ball foul.
You know, the typical pitcher has somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 15 miles per hour difference between his fastest pitch and his slowest pitch. Lamb tonight, that difference is 25 miles per hour, all the way from 93 miles an hour down to 68. So I mean, that's a little more for the hitter to try to figure out, to get comfortable in the box and to guess on.
He's ahead 0-2.
So that fastball is, for instance, seemingly 91 miles an hour. Looked like it was right down the middle. And here you have Carpenter, a little bit late on it. That's the range that we were talking about there that is so important to John Lamb.
So we'll try the 0-2 again. Got to tell you, that sun is a little tough right now, shining right into our center field camera. In the air to right. Bruce, see if the runner will tag. Indeed not. Won't test that arm. 2 down. And the second at bat by Aledmus Diaz. Diaz, as you said earlier, Chris, signed a 4-year, $8 million contract as an international free agent after he defected from Cuba. And you talked about it. He floundered throughout his early minor league career, was outrighted off the 40-man roster last July. And any club could have picked him up. The remainder of that $8 million, but he cleared waivers, and it seemed inconsequential at the time, but it has been a godsend for the Cardinals. Peralta went down. He has just turned it on. Defected in 2012 in the Netherlands. He was playing for the Cuban national team. Found back. And has come a long way with his English over the last year. A year ago, he was asking for an interpreter. But he said he learned English by watching YouTube on his phone. And to expand that more, he learned conversations by watching the Ellen DeGeneres show. He's a big Ellen guy. Whatever you got to do to learn the language. And now he's speaking to reporters and teammates in English.
Well, it comes on at a perfect time for ball players.
It really does.
I mean, they're up late. They sleep late. Probably wakes up, gets a little lunch, watches some Ellen.
1-2 pitch.
Sounds like your schedule.
I mean, don't we all?
Unless you're watching, of course, reruns of Reds baseball from the night before.
That's where I'm usually locked in.
Okay.
Yeah, I just can't get enough. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strike 3 call.
Boy, that's a sweet pitch.
Lamb with his 4th strikeout of the night. We're still scoreless. Smile about him. What a moment. The Reds always honor a hometown hero on the dugout in the 3rd inning. But technical sergeant Jensen Denays took it a step farther. He got on his knee and proposed. And indeed, she said yes. Congratulations, Technical Sergeant Jensen Denays and your bride-to-be. And thank you so much for your service. That's awesome. Pitcher versus pitcher. John Lamb leads off the 3rd for Cincinnati. Scoreless game as Mike Leake faces his former team for the first time. Brings the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. First strikeout of the night for Leake. And back to the top of the order. Zach Cozart flew out to center in the 1st. Season average just over 300 at 302. Team leading 16 doubles. First pitch strike. And the 0-1 outside. I want to get back to this Molina talk for Hall of Fame if we could just for a moment.
All right.
How much does defense, how much should defense come into it? Because you talked about his numbers, and let me give you these numbers.
Right.
He has won 4 of the last 5 National League Rawlings Platinum Glove Awards. That means the best defender at any position, not just a catcher. He has won 8 consecutive Gold Gloves behind the plate. Named to the National League All-Star team 7 consecutive years. How much does all of that figure in?
Well, evidently a lot if you're really good. I mean, all you have to do is look to a former Cardinal, Ozzie Smith, who essentially got into the Hall of Fame based on his defense. So I think you have to make the same argument for Molina, and even add to that the fact that as the catcher, you're controlling a pitching staff. More so, and you're more important to the team from that aspect than any other fielder out there. From my book, I think he's a shoo-in. I know a lot of Reds fans who love to hate the Cardinals. Don't want to hear that. But, I mean,
they bristle at the thought.
If you respect great baseball players, you have to put Yadier Molina on that list of current players that should be deserving of big-time consideration, and in my book, consideration certainly for Hall of Fame status.
Here's Votto with 2 outs. Joey doubled in the first. I got to tell you, in that same vein, talking to Tucker Barnhart when he first came up, I said, who do you really idolize behind the plate? And he's like, I don't know if I should say this because I don't know the Reds fans don't like him very much, but how could you not emulate what Yadier Molina does behind the plate? I said, it's all right, man.
Well, let's put it this way. If Yadier Molina had been wearing a Reds uniform for the last 10 years or so,
love him. They'd love him.
Better believe it.
Tucker has watched Molina closely, and why not? Every catcher in the league learned something off of Yadier Molina. Joey didn't like that call.
But now Leake in this at bat has painted both sides of the plate on Votto. Previous pitch on the inside corner, last pitch on the outside corner.
Two guys that know each other very well. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And a 1-2-3 inning for Leake. No one has dented the scoreboard yet. Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. Head to Reds.com to choose your All-Star Game worthy stars and send them to the All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on July 12th in San Diego, and you can see it on Fox. Vote today, vote tomorrow. Vote at Reds.com/vote. How about a vote for Zach Cozart? In the first round of voting, he was 5th amongst shortstops, and Adam Duvall is amongst the league leaders in many categories. There'll at least be one, and we hope more. Hope you get out to vote. Matt Holliday leads off the 4th for St. Louis. Holliday's was Lamb's first strikeout victim of the game back in the first. They haven't shown it tonight yet, but the Cardinals have been murdering the baseball. 3rd in team average with the .267 team average. Tops in the league in home runs. Tops in the league in runs scored. 2nd in doubles. And Holliday didn't like that call. Two-one pitch. Fouled back. And it's weird that a team that has a 307 to 253 run differential is only 3 games over 500. Granted, 14 of their wins have been by 5 or more runs. So when they've won big, they've piled on the runs. Looper charging his Bruce. He got it. Pretty play.
Really nice hustle by Jay Bruce. And if you notice over the years, Bruce has figured out a different way to make a sliding catch. Years ago in New York, he slid and went head first for a ball. That's when the glove went underneath his wrist and he broke his wrist. Now when you make a sliding wrist, you want to make sure that you keep that glove kind of extended out so that it doesn't have a chance of doubling up underneath your arm. And he makes a really nice catch there.
And now Stephen Piscotty, who singled in the 2nd and added to his career batting average versus left-handed pitchers. He came in with a .364 career average versus lefties. That's the highest among any active player. So when there's a lefty on the mound for the opponent, you bet Stephen Piscotty's going to be in the lineup. There's his splits right there. That's just this season, .417. So far, so good for John Lamb. After 7 innings of 1-run baseball in Colorado, still goose eggs on the board here in the fourth.
Well, he's definitely calling his own game. If you're really paying attention, you're watching the catcher signs tonight. You'll see Cabrera flash a sign down. Lamb will shake him off. He'll immediately go to the next one. Doesn't like the slider. He wants a fastball low and away.
And he walked him. First walk of the night for Lamb.
Now, there are sometimes a catcher will, will put down fastball, pitcher will shake him off. He'll put down fastball again, pitcher will shake him off. He'll put it down again. And if you shake him off, he's coming out through the mound. So unless you want to visit with the catcher, you can go ahead and throw what he wants. But in those circumstances, those are when the catcher really feels that that's the right pitch. Otherwise, the pitcher ought to be in control.
First pitch inside to Johnny Peralta. If you're just joining us, Peralta making his season debut. Just off the disabled list after fracturing his left thumb. .1-0 from Lamb. In there for a strike.
Scotty does not get much of a lead. That's why I was really surprised to see him run last time. It was almost a Todd Frazier type of attempt where you have such a short lead. Yeah, the pitcher thinks, well, there's no way he's ever going to go, so I'm not even going to waste my time throwing over there.
Left center field. It finds the gap. Here comes the runner to third. They're going to hold him up. Double Johnny Peralta's first hit of the 2016 season.
Well, he got it on a fastball, and if you remember the first at bat that he had, he struck out on a changeup. In fact, he had 2 changeups in that at bat. This time Lamb tries to sneak a fastball at 93. Not bad velocity, but gets it thigh high, and Peralta has always been a good fastball hitter.
So now with 1 out, runners on second and third, Lamb will deal with Matt Adams. It goes down as a single in the second, but it was a dribbler. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 68 miles per hour.
Like it.
Lamb working from that extreme first base side of the rubber. Outside 1-1. Swing and a miss. First real threat of the game against John Lamb. These are 2 of the top teams with runners in scoring position. As far as hitting goes, the Cardinals with a .304 team batting average with runners in scoring position. The Reds very close at .298.
This is why Adams is in the lineup right here, because against left-handers he doesn't give in very much. In fact, his batting average this year better against lefties than righties.
1-2 pitch. Popped it up behind home plate, but out of play. Early on in the season, Matt Adams wasn't getting a whole lot of playing time. And since they inserted him into the lineup on a regular basis, they've really taken off. And again, as we said earlier, with Peralta in there, really spreads this lineup out. One ball, 2 strikes. Lamb will step off. Trying to get the sign he wants from his catcher, Ramon Cabrera. Into left field. This will score 1. They'll hold the runner at third. With the Cardinals draw first blood and lead 1-0.
He gets a cutter and he goes the other way with it. We just talked about how good Matt Adams has been against left-handers. And it's almost like you take a page out of the book of Joey Votto. Because the only way you hit left-handers effectively, if you're a left-handed hitter, is be willing to hit the ball the other way. And Adams has picked up his second hit at as many times to the plate.
So now Yadier Molina. First and third, one down, one run in. Throw over. Molina struck out in the first. Excuse me, in the second. John Lamb with that same demeanor. You wouldn't know if he's given up 8 runs or scoreless. Very steady as far as his demeanor goes. He's got the high sock look, which I dig. John Lamb, one of 3 lefties that came over in the Johnny Cueto trade last year with Kansas City. 2 of them on the big club. Lamb and Finnegan both in the rotation. Cody Reed not far behind. One ball, one strike. The count to Yadier Molina. Ground ball to short. Just what the doctor ordered. 6-4-3 and an inning inner. Cardinals get a run though and lead 1-0.
Yeah, he threw a bullpen today. He's good unless there's some unforeseen circumstance. We have him scheduled to pitch on Friday against Oakland, so he'll go into the rotation. We've optioned John Moscott to create a spot in the rotation for Disco, and look forward to having him back in the rotation.
So that is Brian Price this afternoon after he saw this. Anthony DeSclafani, who was supposed to be the opening day starter for the Reds, he threw on the field. Then he went in and threw his bullpen today. He came out and he says everything is a go. He felt A-OK. He has had no pain in that side for about 4 weeks now, so that is the good news. And Jim, you were just talking about that starting rotation. Well, they're about to get one of their key cogs back, and it'll be on Friday against Oakland.
Well, it'll certainly help not only the starting rotation, but it'll help the bullpen eventually.
No, the best way to help the bullpen is not put them in a ball game as much.
Exactly.
Give them some time off, and solid starters have a tendency to make your bullpen a whole lot better.
You just look at the recent success of the Reds, winning 2 straight series. They got 7 innings from John Lamb. They got 7 innings from Simon. They got 6 1/3 from Finnegan. And when your offense suddenly woke up, you take 3 out of 4 in Denver and take 2 out of 3 from the first place Washington Nationals. And we would think that Robert Stevenson will make his return. Cody Reed's debut is probably right around the corner, barring anything unforeseen. And the Reds have already talked about Michael Lorenzen and Raisel Iglesias both coming back in the bullpen. The other day kind of opened some eyes when they said Iglesias was going to be in the pen, but with his shoulder problems and fatigue that has been in that shoulder, he's pitched out of the bullpen for the Cuban national team. Once you get guys like that down there, put these other young starters in there, someone else from the rotation is going to have to go to the pen most likely.
Well,
and it changes everything.
It does. It has a dual benefit of protecting arms, number one, and because you don't want to load up innings on arms that are already barking a little bit. But you want them in the big leagues.
Back up the middle, and a 10-game hitting streak now for Brandon Phillips. That ties Zach Cozart for the team high this year. So 10 straight for that dude.
Look how they're pitching Brandon. I mean, low and away, low and away, low and away. And this little cutter right there just hangs right on the corner. Brandon stays with it, drives it through the box.
Well, good start to the 4th for the Reds. And now Jay Bruce. First pitch from Mike Leake to Bruce, right up the middle. 2 singles in the row. Phillips is going to try for third. Here comes the throw. He's safe. Looked like the throw beat him there. In fact, the Cardinals are probably going to take a look at this.
Now, you may be wondering, with nobody out, why would you want to take a chance right there? But I think it's a good play by Brandon Phillips. He kind of stutter steps coming around second base. But the reason it's a good play in my book anyway is because he comes in there at the same angle that throw does. Oftentimes you're going to see that throw hit the runner because there's no other way around it. Somehow the Cardinals are able to field it. They're not going to review it. And the Reds have them on the corners.
Nice slide there by Brandon. So Adam Duvall, first and third, nobody out.
Cardinals will play for a double play and let the Reds tie the ball game up if Duvall gets it on the ground in the infield to someone other than the pitcher.
Good seats right there. Peter Edward Rose jersey. Duvall long to left. Way out of here. 3-run home run. The Louisville Slugger. th home run of the season for Adam Duvall. And the Reds lead 3-1.
Well, what a sweet swing. Second hit in the game for Duvall, and that is a ball that looks like a cutter again. I mean, Mike Leake's throwing a lot of those, and this ball comes right into the hot zone for Duvall.
Suarez with a shot to left. That's off the wall. Coming to second. He's in there. Fourth straight hit off of Mike Leake.
You know, when you prep for a ball game, you look for trends and tendencies and so on. And our crack staff has come up with something about Mike Leake. Very interesting. The first 3 innings, Mike Leake throws the ball extremely well. Right here. And a 191 earned run average, but from the 4th inning on, and this is where familiarity with the hitter, seeing Mike Leake, really begins to show. Number of home runs have gone up. Opposition batting average has gone way up with runners in scoring position. Even the walks have gone up a little bit as he begins to get hit more and a little bit more nibbly around the plate.
Billy Hamilton singled back in the second. Average up to 253 now. And that first at bat was a good one. As he waited on that pitch and slapped it the other way. 1-0 from Leake. This time tries for the bunt. Throw down to second. Suarez gets back. Can't get too big a secondary lead off of Molina. He'll at least give it a shot down.
Well, the Cardinals are always a team looking for a back pick. Yeah, that's what you call when a catcher throws behind the runner. They'll do it at first base, and if he sees an opening, he'll give it a shot anywhere.
Billy bunts left side. Peralta get the out, but Suarez moves on to third. Sacrifice bunt, Billy Hamilton. First out of the inning and another run 90 feet away.
You know, with the way that Suarez acted on the first bunt through by Billy Hamilton, I thought that was probably a sacrifice. Even though Hamilton was kind of running out of the box on it, that time definitely a sacrifice, which is, you wonder about the timing of the sacrifice. You're down the bottom of the order. You got the number 8 hitter up. You've got the pitcher coming up next. Brian Price is hoping that with the infield in, Cabrera can punch one through or at least get it into the outfield and pick up that run at third base with maybe a sacrifice fly.
Ramon Cabrera, switch hitting backup catcher. Handles the bat pretty nicely.
Ramon's got a nice flat swing. Normally, what you get offensively out of your backup catcher is not the important part. You want that guy to be able to run the game when he's in there.
1-1 pitch.
That'll do it.
This will get the job done. Tagging from third is Suarez, and the Reds lead 4-1. Nice job, Ramon Cabrera. And now John Lamb. 4 runs in and 2 outs. Lamb gets a piece. But behind 0-2. Ground ball foul. So the Reds take over this game, and since that 11-game losing streak, have now won 6 of 9 and 2 straight series victories. Small sample size, we know, but you got to turn the corner at some point. You got to start somewhere. Foul tip right into the mid of Molina. But Adam Duvall, home run number 17, a 3-run job. Reds lead 4-1. Sports Ohio is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Ford, go further. And by Cincinnati Children's, ranking 3rd in the country on U.S. News Best Children's Hospital. Beautiful night for baseball here in the Queen City. I imagine you like what you see out of John Lamb so far.
I mean, how can you not? He's shutting down the Cardinals on just 1 run through 4 innings. He's thrown a lot of off-speed pitches. And the Cardinals just don't look comfortable at the plate. He has not given up very many hard-hit balls at all. In fact, the hardest hit ball tonight was that double by Johnny Peralta on a fastball that he threw out over the plate.
First pitch to Randall Grichuk, in there for a strike. Keep those walks down. He's done that so far with just 1. 68 mile per hour. Yacker. One ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Kozar charging, gotta hurry. Nice play. If you're a baseball fan, then you need the all-new Fox Sports app. Get highlights, interviews, injury updates, scores, and instant alerts on your favorite teams and rivals. Download now in the iOS App Store, Google Play, or visit foxsports.com/app. And now Mike Leake. When Leake first came up, he was truly one of the best hitting pitchers in the game. Was a good college player, not just a pitcher. But came in with just a 105 batting average. And after a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd, 2 for 19 on the season. It has not been the same hitting Mike Leake the last few seasons. Nonetheless, still above 200 career average. 7th season.
You know, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that once you're recognized as a pitcher that can swing the bat.
Start throwing you junk.
Yeah, they're not just challenging you with fastballs anymore. They're pitching you like you might be the designated hitter.
Leake crowding that plate. Lamb busted him inside. 5th strikeout of the night for John Lamb. Be a part of Super Saturdays this season at GABP. This Saturday, the first 25,000 will get a Reds Garden Gnome thanks to Miracle Grow. Catch all the action for only $12. Tickets 513-381-REDS or visit reds.com. Back to the top of the order with 2 down now. Matt Carpenter. Carpenter 0 for 2 so far tonight. Grounded out, flew out. And the 1-0 pitch from Lamb. 2-0.
Don't expect Matt Carpenter to be up there ready to swing any more than you would expect Joey Votto. These guys among the most patient hitters in the league as far as seeing a lot of pitches every time they come to the plate.
Sky ball left side. Someone's going to call for it. Suarez drifting clear into foul play, and he misjudged that big time.
I think at first that he thought maybe Cozart was going to call him off of that ball, because normally the shortstop has a better angle on that ball than the third baseman going directly out the third base line. But it looks like he called it first. The ball just kind of drifted back at him. Fortunately for the Reds, foul ball.
That is the 2nd error of the game for Suarez, and now 12 on the season.
You know, one note to have on that, it's where the ball is, whether it determines it's fair or foul. The fielder can be standing on the line in fair territory, but if the ball is in foul territory, it's a foul ball. Not like football where you save a ball, you do it with your feet.
Now Lamb's run the count to 3-1. Should have been out of this inning. We've gone full 3-2. Cardinals 3 games over 500, but with the Cubs having the season they're having, 10.5 games back first place. First time since 2012 they've been that far back. Little nub shot. One hop, barehanded, nice play. Zach Cozart. 3 up, 3 down for Lamb. Reds continue to lead.
The Reds lead. It's time now for a T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. How about the Cubs? 40th win of the season yesterday, but it came at a cost. They lose Jorge Soler. He had to be helped off the field. Strained hamstring. Albert Almora, remember that name, guys, set to join the team today. They are playing Bryant in left field. Caesar's playing third. Some say the best defensive outfielder in minor league baseball. Odor back for Texas, a walk-off double last night to win the game. And how about Tyler Chatwood in Colorado? You want to face him at home, not on the road, as the Reds did. Beating 5-0 with an 0.65. That's the best record in all of baseball on the road, guys.
Those Chicago Cubs. I got to tell you, their fans are going crazy. As Cozart chops it foul. When they were here in April, they were chanting World Series. Well, they were chanting World Series in April when we were there.
Well, their fans are always going crazy, but this time they're happy crazy.
Yeah. Well, why not? Start they're off to. That lineup, they're a fun club to watch, as much as it pains Reds fans to say it. Zach Cozart looking for his first hit of the night, and might have it if it stays fair. Foul ball. Got into one, a little ahead of it. Wait, now hold up. Now you got to give that ball to her. Oh, and the one guy took the pain and he just cleaned up the mess. Three-two pitch. In the air to center. Grichuk going back for the first down. And now Votto. Delivered his 10th double of the season back in the first. Struck out in the third. Also stole a base. Fly ball left. Holiday, 2 down. Tonight we've got another great ticket offer for you to come out to Great American Ballpark. You can see the Reds in action. Get terrace line tickets for any game against the A's this weekend for only $19.90. Go to Reds.com right now and use the code FSOhio to get your tickets for this weekend. The A's coming to town, a rematch of the 1990 World Series. And they're not quite bringing the same team. Fun nonetheless as we go back to interleague play after 3 with the Cardinals.
All right, so we saw the 1990 Reds team when they had a reunion. Eric Davis looks like he could play. Barry
does. Glenn Braggs looks like definitely. He could play right now. You know, I bet you Ronnie O could muster it up.
Yeah, probably.
He could at least get the troops going.
If he could get to it, he could field it. He actually plays a little basketball in the wintertime.
Barry Larkin's still looking good.
I'm wondering how many of the A's could hang in there with him. That would be worth getting those teams back together to play a little softball game.
Wow. Ricky being Ricky. How about Ricky?
All day, Ricky.
I am the greatest of all time. Ricky would be. Problem with Ricky is he'd try to steal a base in a softball game, but you can't do it. 3-2 pitch to Phillips. See if Adams has room. He will. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Mike Leake. But the Reds lead 4-1 on Fox Sports Ohio. Game summary. Matt Adams got the Cardinals on the board. RBI single in the 4th. That's all the damage they could get off of John Lamb, though. Adam Duvall, 3-run home run. Part of a 4-run 4th inning to give the Reds a 4-1 lead behind the arm of John Lamb. 5 innings in the book so far, 4 hits, and just that 1 run. Keeping the Cardinals hitters off balance. A couple of double plays have been his friend. And that's where we stand as we head to the top of the 6th. And Aledmus Diaz 0 for 2 so far tonight. Diaz, the end of the bat. Cozart charging, got to hurry, got him. 1 down.
Cozart has been very busy tonight. He fielded the first ground ball of the ball game off the bat of Matt Carpenter. Made a barehanded play off Carpenter last inning and starts this inning off with a very nice fluid play by the shortstop. Boy, just rock solid.
Last 4 balls that have been put into play have been hit to Cozart. .363 ground outs and a .643 double play. Matt Holliday looking for his first hit of the series. High fly ball left field. Duvall coming in. 2 outs. Start your weekend off with a bang with Fireworks Friday at the ballpark this Friday. The Red Legs take on those Oakland A's for just $12. You can see it. Stick around after the game for the best fireworks in the league, presented by the Jeff Weiler Automotive family. Hello, I'm Jeff Weiler. Tickets, call 513-381-REDS or visit Reds.com. Stephen Piscotty. He's reached base both times he's up. But if Suarez can make the play, not this time. And a nice sixth inning for John Lamb. He cruises. Reds lead 4-1.
Reds action 30 minutes before every game with all the info you need for that day's game with Reds Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Reds Live is presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing. And tomorrow's probables, Jaime Garcia 4-5 with a 348, Alfredo Simon 2-5 with an 894, but a career 3-1 record versus these Cardinals. Jim, Chris?
We look forward to that. And if the Reds can hold on to this game tonight, we'll have a chance to turn the trick on the Cardinals, because back in April, St. Louis took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati at Busch Stadium. Reds would certainly like to turn the trick on them or more. Into right, deep, but at the wall is Piscotty for 1 out.
That had to give Mike Leake a little bit of a start right there. 0-2. He tries to come in on Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce gets the head out pretty good on this one and sends Piscotty all the way to the wall. That comes under the just missed it category.
Leake knows all about this ballpark. The heat not up tonight, so probably not traveling as much as you're going to see on a warmer night. By the way, if we could just bottle this whole day and night up.
You're not kidding.
I mean, goodness gracious, it's gorgeous, and it's supposed to be that way the next 2 nights. Another. Adams to Leake, 2 outs. So the California native Mike Leake trying to keep his team in the game after a 4-run 4th inning by the Reds. Leake now 28 years of age. As we said, signed a 5-year free agent contract with the Cardinals. And it was a tough decision for him because the Arizona Diamondbacks were in the mix. And that's where his parents live. And his father, going through some medical struggles, wanted to be closer to family. Mike said it just didn't work out in the end. But his parents happy that Mike landed in a winning situation, which St. Louis normally is. Strike 3 called to Eugenio Suarez. 9 in a row retired by Leake. Reds still lead 4-1. All right, so far so good for your Red Legs. 4-1 they lead as we move on to the 7th. John Lamb out for his 7th inning of work.
Cruising a line of right along. Really, he's pitching the type of game that we have seen Mike Leake pitch so many times, where you go out there and it's almost like you're just throwing the ball up and they're hitting it and your defense is making plays and you still haven't broken a sweat.
He'll get Johnny Peralta to lead off the 7th. Peralta 1 for 2. Peralta just activated today, and in a semi-surprising move, I guess you look at his numbers, it's not, but Colton Wong was optioned to AAA.
It depends which numbers you're looking at.
Well, the numbers that sent him down were the .222 batting average. But the surprising part is just a few months ago, he signed a 5-year, $25.5 million extension. So that's an expensive AAA player.
So he'll be buying the fast food on the AAA bus.
Indeed. Or whatever else they eat or drink. And again, Peralta playing third base. They wanted to keep Aledmys Diaz hitting so well at shortstop. They wanted to keep him there despite Diaz being a defensive liability so far. He's got 12 errors at shortstop. And they moved Matt Carpenter to second, which you would think, wow, why would they disrupt two positions? But Carpenter has over 1,000 defensive innings at second base. He's played there many times before. And Peralta, as we talked about earlier, on his rehab stint in the minors to get ready for his comeback, primarily played at third base. So a new look infield for the Cardinals. Phillips will call for it. 1 out. Cheer on your Redlegs when they take on the Oakland A's this weekend and save with the 4 for $48 ticket offer. Thanks to Reach Magazine, you can get 4 view-level tickets plus 4 Reds hats for only $48. 513-381-REDS for tickets or log on to Reds.com. And here's big Matt Adams. Lamb will try to get him out for the first time. Infield single, singled in the 4th, and drove in the only Cardinals run so far. The average sitting at 336. Off-speed pitch.
Boy, Lamb is really mixing it up beautifully tonight. And both the hitters in this inning, he started off with the first pitch fastball for a strike. And the look on these hitters' faces like, uh-oh, that was the one that I should have swung at because now I'm going to get all the junk.
Last time out, when he pitched in Colorado, he said it's the most prepared he's ever been on a major league mound. And I was quite surprised after the game, in which he said he's always looked at video of himself pitching, but he had never looked at video so much at the opposing batters. And pitching coach Mark Riggins sat him down and gave him a string of videos. In this case, he almost hit Adams there. In this case, of the Rockies hitters and them not being successful, and drilling it into his head that even the best hitters get out 7 out of 10 times. And it really opened his eyes. Said he was the most prepared he's ever been, but I was quite surprised that it took him this long to do that. And he gave all the credit to that guy right there, Mark Riggins.
Well, it's an important thing to do, obviously, is be prepared, but also have some confidence. And the way that the Reds pitching staff had been rocked in Colorado, Mark Riggins was trying to work the mental side of it for John Lamb.
He pitched the day after they gave up 17 runs.
Exactly. So, I mean, when you look at a video of yourself, you always look at the things you do wrong. So you should make a loop of the good things that you do,
right,
and then a loop of the bad things that the other team does. And that's what will give you confidence.
Right up the middle. Reds haven't played perfectly. That's Cozart in the shift for the second out. But you move forward, and John Lamb is now going to look at opposing hitters and them not being successful. He said, man, I would just show up like the minor leagues. I just pump strikes and pitch. But now I'm starting to think as a pitcher. We're really seeing it in action the last 2 times out. Really, what could be? If he's just putting the mental part into play, he's got the arm.
Well, if he's able to get through this 7th inning, and he's retired now 9 in a row, he will be the first Red starting pitcher this year to go consecutive starts of 7 innings plus.
He's a Yadier Molina out away from doing it, and he's going to get it. 1, 2, 3, 7th for John Lamb. The lefty rolling tonight.
presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
And after each Reds game here on Fox Sports Ohio, stick around for Reds Live, the post-game edition. It's brought to you by Performance Kings Honda. Brian Giesenslaw will be manning the ship down there with our people. Billy Hamilton, first pitch swinging deep into right field.
Get up.
And gone. Billy Hamilton. Billy. Home run number 2 of the season. One Reds lead.
Well, on base twice tonight, a sacrifice bunt in between the 2 base hits, and this one that he ran hard to first base but did not have to do that afterwards as he jogged around and watched that one leave.
That might have been a jog for him, but that's a sprint for most people. That one has to feel good off of Leake. Because there were many years that Hamilton and Leake, boy, they would just go at it in the clubhouse. In playful nature, of course. Cabrera lays into one. Into the right field corner, in fact, off the wall. Cabrera hustling into second base with a double.
Well, the Washington Nationals found out, and now the Cardinals are finding out that when this Reds ball club begins to hit its groove as far as offense goes, it can be a team that can put some runs on the board. Combine that with good starting pitching. I mean, tonight hitting all the way up and down the lineup.
So John Lamb will take his turn at the plate. Most certainly the bunt here. And bunting has not exactly been a positive for Lamb this season. He has struggled mightily at it.
Well, a couple of things going on right here. Number one, you've got the catcher running at second base. He's not very fast. Number two, you've got Matt Adams charging hard at first. So if you're going to bunt this ball, make sure you bunt it right down the third baseline.
Peralta in on the grass at third. Adams likewise at first. Struggle continues.
And he'll get another chance.
Here's a guy that was in the Kansas City Royals system. His first professional at bat was at Dodger Stadium. He has not swung the lumber much since high school. He won't swing it here. He'll try to lay down the bunt and strikes out. I know you love Kid Glove Night, Chris Welsh.
Well, I'm on the board of the Powell Crosby Jr. Amateur Baseball Fund, and Kid Glove now, those games have gone on for a long time. 67 years of helping kids play baseball and softball. It's a non-profit organization. Nobody gets a salary. They raised over $384,000 in 2014. They provide equipment to all the kids around. More than 40,000 last year were served, boys and girls in the tri-state area. They co-sponsor an adapted baseball league, and all because the Reds allow them to participate in these great nights at Kid Glove Nights. I remember as a kid coming out to watch the Reds play on Kid Glove Night.
I tell you what, those gloves aren't inexpensive, so anything to help the kids play.
And there are 4 more to come. There'll be one on June the 23rd, June 27th, July 18th, and 19th. So Padres, Cubs, Braves, and Braves coming up this year. Kid Glove games here at the ballpark.
Cozart is swinging a miss. Zach Cozart's the only Reds position player without a hit tonight. I'd like to get rid of that stat right now. He's got one sitting out there at second base, 1 out. A 5-1 Reds lead. 1-2 pitch. Laced down the left field line. Foul. Leake's given up 5, but he's about to deliver only his 90th pitch in 6+ innings of work. Cozart lays off 80-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch. Action in the Reds pen now. Righty Blake Wood up. See if Lamb towed the slab in the 8th. Foul ball out of play. There's Wood. John Lamb back-to-back really good starts. Ground ball up the middle, past the shortstop, and they're going to wave Cabrera around. Throw to the plate, not in time. Reds lead 6-1. So now every Reds position player with a hit. After an RBI single by Zach Cozart, goes to second on the throw.
Good hitting by Cozart. Another cutter or slider right there. He just goes down to get that. That's a pitcher's pitch. Diaz can't get to it. He dives but comes up short. Cabrera comes all the way around, but the good base running comes in on the part when Cozart sees that ball go into home plate. He ends up on second base. So another duck on the pond out there.
Mike Matheny's looking back. I'm not sure. No thumbs down. He's going to come, perhaps get Leake. Indeed, call for the lefty with Votto coming up. And that'll be it for Mike Leake. His first game against his former team does not go his way. 6 runs allowed. Gives the ball to Matheny, and he'll jog off. Here comes the reliever. It's our Skyline Chili. Call to the bullpen. He will look on as Mike Matheny goes to the pen and brings on lefty Dean Kekeffer.
That would be Dean Allen Kekeffer, a former Louisville Cardinal. He played down there in his college days, now 27 years old. He was a 36th round draft pick of the Cardinals in 2010, and today is Dean's birthday.
Wow.
And he gets to face Joey Votto.
Happy birthday. I imagine he's got a few friends and family in the crowd, perhaps. Check swing. And he went. About a 1 for 3, double, stolen base.
You know, if Kekeffer could stay around the major leagues long enough, this is a matchup that he will have a fair amount of times going forward.
Is he the loogie?
He looks like a loogie to me. Which would be, if you don't remember how to translate it, left only one guy. I mean, you bring a left-handed pitcher in, you face one left-handed hitter, and that's that.
2-1 the count to Joey Votto. Sidewinder brings it. Strike 2. Votto doesn't like that one at all. Home plate umpire Ron Culpa getting the death stare. Right on the edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check swing. Down goes Votto. So Kiekeffer with a little birthday strikeout. 6th strikeout of the night for Cardinal pitching.
Well, this year was a first for Kiekeffer when he came to camp as a member of the 40-man roster. A sidewinding left-hander, not overpowering, but he's a guy that is going to be called in more often than not. Again, if he stays around the major leagues long enough to get that one left-hander. So now they're going to walk Brandon Phillips in order to get to Jay Bruce.
And this will be the first walk of the night by Cardinals pitchers. Leake walked none. Now Kiekeffer will deliver 4 in a row to Phillips. What do you think about this new rule, maybe? I'm sorry, go ahead.
About the automatic walk?
Yeah, automatic walk.
I'm all for it.
Just put 4 down, put him on. I mean, how many times do you see a ball get away or a guy reach out and hit the ball?
Not very often, and it really doesn't add a lot because it only happens, say, once every 50 times or 100 times. I'd rather see the action going. I think baseball continues to try to shorten the length of the games, but you shorten it by 30 seconds.
Yeah.
When you do that way for the intentional walk, just send him to first, but then you have a 4-minute review.
Right. Got to speed up that process. Working on that, but it's gone a little slower this year. In fact, the games are slower this year, much to the angst of the commissioner. So Dean Kiekeffer versus Jay Bruce, 2 on, 2 outs.
It reminds me a little bit, you got to go way back, but Tony Fawcett, who pitched for the Cardinals, pitched for a lot of other ball clubs, who is now the, I guess, roving pitching director in the minor leagues for the Reds. Spent 10 years in the minors before he made it to the majors, dropped down like that, and then had a 12-year major league career. I mean, he's topping out at 89 miles an hour, and he struck out Joey Votto. So how much better can it get than that?
Well, that's why parents, when their toddler picks up a ball, throws it left-handed for the first time, they're like, "Do you see that? He just threw that left-handed." He can pitch till he's 45. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fly ball, right center field. Who's going to call it? The right fielder Piscotty's got it. The Reds strand 2, but they score 2. Billy going yard. Reds lead. Converge on the historic Oakmont Country Club for the 116th U.S. Open Championship. Live coverage begins Thursday, June 16th on FS1 and continues to the final round on Sunday, June 19th on Fox. Or you can watch it all live on Fox Sports Go. Oakmont. Nice. John Lamb, as he usually does, gets in the catcher's position to get, after they throw the ball around, they throw it back to him. He gets in the catcher's position because he says it makes him feel like an athlete. Whatever it takes, Johnny. And with 99 pitches so far, Brian Price sends him out for the 8th.
It's been an easy 99 pitches for Lamb, too. You've gone through 7 innings, so the efficiency is there. He has not had any really tough innings, high leverage innings where you've got runners on base, you're worried about them stealing. Once that home run was hit by Duvall, and then the Reds ended up scoring 4 in the 4th. He's just kind of put it into cruise control. He's had a 6-pitch inning. Boy.
He's got Randall Grichuk here, then a pinch hitter, and the top of the order. This is the first time of John Lamb's young career that he's ever pitched in the bigs in the 8th inning. Jed Jerko in the on-deck circle for the Cardinals. So Mike Leake goes 6 1/3, gives up 6 runs. 3-2 to Grichuk. Lost him.
Well, the only Cardinal run that has scored tonight has come, he's gotten on base with a base on balls. So I think where you leave the inning off of the walk, the leash gets shorter and shorter.
Just the second walk of the night for Lamb. So here's Jed Jerko. We'll see his playing time diminish now that Johnny Peralta is back. Is going to talk it over.
And this usually is a pretty quick conversation, and the catcher emanates 2 words:
throw strikes.
Enough.
I thought it would be throw strikes.
Well, throw strikes is a good substitute, but you get tired of hearing that.
Got to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah,
got to mix up the message.
Sure.
Just like a teacher in school, you get tired of hearing the same thing. Got to mix it up. Foul back.
Jerko did him a favor right there, chasing ball 3 up and out of the zone.
You know, Leake. I'm sorry, Chris.
Got to remind yourself that you're 5 runs down.
Leake giving up 6 runs tonight. It's interesting. Johnny Cueto came back and pitched against his former team this year. GABP gave up 6 runs. Leake gives up 6 tonight. So a tough road to hoe against the former Reds against their former team.
That number 6 is big.
Right on the bottom of the strike zone there. Beautiful pitch. Hard grounder to Suarez. Phillips a second. Off balance throw. This one will go into the camera well. Phillips slow to get up, but he says he's okay.
The third Reds error on the night. It was a nice backhand play. Good. Not a good feed at all, actually, by Suarez, and maybe a little bit of a bad decision there on the part of Brandon Phillips, who thought that he could get Jerko with a perfect throw, and the ball just got so far off first base that all Votto could do was watch it go into the well. So the runner goes to second. Getting back to that number 6, this is the 6th straight game in which the Reds have scored 6 runs. Which is all saying something for this team, and first time they've done that since, guess what, 2006. It's not even a full moon night.
I think we need a little music accompaniment with that.
Speaking of musical accompaniments, the Reds will hold on to win this ball game. He'll be celebrating with a brand new celebratory song.
Phillips in short right field, boots it. The 4th error of the game for the Reds, and the 2nd of the inning for Phillips.
Second on back-to-back plays. I bet that has never happened to Brandon Phillips before.
Quite honestly, I can never remember it happening to him. Maybe it has, but it certainly doesn't aid John Lamb here. Brian Price is out to get him. He should get a pretty good round of applause here, though. John Lamb, for the first time in his career, working into the 8th inning. Only 1 run on the board right now for the Cardinals. Back-to-back terrific starts from the Reds left-hander. Longest is done. But with 1 out in the 8th, he'll look on and hoping Blake Wood can pick up the slack. 2 errors in the inning have allowed the Cardinals to put runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Wood got something in his eye.
Well, that pitch missed for ball one. Wood has been very good when it comes to stranding runners. He has inherited 13 and has not allowed any of them to score.
1-0 pitch. Hamilton going back and getting it well deep enough to bring the runner home from third. Sacrifice fly RBI and a 6-2 Reds lead.
The Reds are looking for outs right now, it being the 8th inning, and an unearned run pushes across.
So with 2 outs, here's Matt Holliday. Reds 4 outs away from a series opening victory. Holliday 0 for 3. Foul back. Wood ahead 0-2. It's trying to hold these Cardinals down. They have been an offensive juggernaut so far this season. Reds have 6 on the board, but the Cardinals have scored at least 6 runs in 26 games. That is second only to the Chicago Cubs, who have done it 28 times. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2 from Blake Wood.
You can see why it's difficult to pick the ball up off Blake Wood. He's got a complicated delivery, turns his body, so it's rotational and it's angular in as much as he really tilts his shoulders too. Does not give up much of an batting average against. And plus he throws 98 miles an hour.
Ground ball right through that shift. The Reds had him played to the left side, and Holliday punched it to the right side for a hit.
Slider just kind of hangs right up there. It looks like Holliday was thinking that way when he saw that hole between first and second.
4th base runner of the inning for the Cardinals, but that's the first hit. Walk, fielder's choice, a couple of errors, now a single. First pitch strike to Stephen Piscotty.
Got to be a little careful now that you've turned the order into the middle of the order. 7 home runs for Piscotty, plenty of home run power in the on-deck circle in Peralta.
Swing and a miss. Lefty Tony Cingrani warming up in the bullpen for the Reds. There's Tony. The 0-2 outside. Piscotty 1 for 1 off of Wood. Let's lead by 4, looking for the 3rd out here in the 8th. Up the middle, right off of Wood. And the bases are loaded.
Well, not only that, the tying run comes to the plate.
Wood's going to walk it off. See where that got him. Bam! Right off that right leg. Steve Bauman, the trainer, will come out for a look. So will Brian Price. That was a hard hit ball.
Now they're going to give him a couple of pitches to go. He's not bent down to rub his leg yet at all.
Well, that's the unwritten rule, right? Can't do that.
That might be the last unwritten rule that goes away. I mean, if you can flip the bat, then why can't you rub a ball, rub your body when it gets hit with a batted or a pitch ball?
I don't know the velocity of that ball coming off the bat, but it was smoked.
Well, if he threw it 98 in, it probably came out back faster than he threw it.
How about 103 miles per hour, says Joe Luckham.
Fast enough.
Fast enough where you should be allowed to rub it.
And ice it.
Ice it.
Even ice it from the inside.
So we got a situation here. Tying run at the plate. 2 outs. Blake Wood versus Johnny Peralta. Peralta, his first game of the 2016 season. A .331 hitter with the bases loaded and 4 grannies. Got to be careful here. He was swinging for it too. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carpenter at third. Holiday at second. Cascotti at first. And the veteran Johnny Peralta. 1-1 up high. Peralta 0 for 4 in his career versus Wood. And the 2-1 ripped to left field. This is going to get at least a couple. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. They're going to hold the runner at third. A 2 RBI double, Johnny Peralta. We got a ball game.
Well, he has come back off the disabled list and made himself known tonight. A double in his second at bat, a double here in the 8th. Brian Price makes his way to the mound. It looks like it's going to be a double switch. They have Cingrani, the left-hander, in the bullpen, and he is ready to go.
Tyler Holt looks like he's going to right field. There's a pinch runner into the game at second base for Peralta. And here comes Tony Cingrani. It will be lefty versus lefty, with Matt Adams set to step in against Cingrani with the game on the line. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Tony Cingrani into the game to face lefty Matt Adams. Tying runs on the base paths. And Adams 0 for 6 in his career versus Cingrani, and Cingrani has punched him out 4 times. He'd like to make that 5 right here. First pitch in there for a strike. Solid versus lefties this season. Cingrani ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. Cascotti at third. And the 0-2 pitch to Matt Adams. Fouled back. Pinch runner at second base is Jeremy Hazelbaker. He represents the tying run. Cingrani back with the 0-2. In the air to left. Duvall should have it. And a big out recorded by Tony Cingrani. Tying run stranded. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Reds lead by 2.
For you to come out to Great American Ballpark and see the Reds in action. Get terrace line tickets for any game against the A's this weekend for only $19.90. Go to Reds.com right now and use the code FSOhio to get your tickets for this weekend's Oakland A's series. Those are some great tickets. Well, the Reds lead at 6-4. They hope this is their final time at bat as the Cardinals have inched closer. Jonathan Broxton now in the game as we go back upstairs to Jim and Chris.
That would be big Jonathan Broxton. He will face Adam Duvall to lead off the 8th. And our steel power tool performer tonight is Adam Duvall. 15 home runs since May 1st. That is the most in all of Major League Baseball. And it includes his 17th overall home run back in the 4th. The biggest hit of this game, a 3-run home run. Jonathan Broxton, the former Red. Not the quickest of workers. But a very effective career. He was a good teammate. He was one of those guys that everyone just raved how good a teammate he is. When he was here in Cincinnati, and I'm sure they say the same thing about him in Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kansas City, other places he's been. True pro. One of my favorite days when Jonathan Broxton was a Red, him and Billy Hamilton used to just go at it. And he is slightly larger than Billy. He had had so much of Billy Hamilton ragging on him that he picked him up and stuffed him in a trash can. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Picked him up like he was a feather. And loaded him right into a full trash can. And walked away. Two-two pitch to Duvall.
I want to send out birthday wishes to Hank Lynch, a.k.a. the Old Bear, is 89 today. Happy birthday, Hank. He was the Navy pilot who flew many, many missions. And congratulations also having a great son, Dick Lynch, who runs that very important Skills in Demand USA, helping out disabled veterans.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Duvall. 7th Red to strike out tonight.
Well, one of the things that Broxton has is very good control, especially of that slider. And he starts it, looks like a strike, and by the time it ends up, it's just off the plate for a ball. And that is what has kept him in the major leagues as one of the top right-handed relievers around for a long time.
Eugenio Suarez working on a 1-for-3 night, doubled back in the 4th and scored. The 0-1 pitch from Broxton. 0-2. If you're looking ahead to the 9th for the Cardinals, it'll be the bottom 3rd of the lineup. Molina, Grichuk, and Jerko. Jerko has stayed into the game. He's down at 3rd. 1-2. Do it again.
Also want to send a happy birthday, a big 60th birthday to one of our main sponsors, Cincinnati Bell's. Ted Torbeck. They're up there in the Phi Optics deck tonight, partying down and watching hopefully a Reds victory. We thank him and the Cincinnati Bell for their sponsorship of our Baseball Tech Talk.
That's a sweet area.
Very nice.
They've done a great job with that area up there. Every nook and cranny in this ballpark nearly has something in it.
Come a long way since it first opened.
Oh, big time. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Eugenio Suarez. Broxton bringing it. Lays off. 3-2.
With Broxton out there, just because it is full count doesn't mean you're getting the fastball here. He knows that Suarez is a good fastball hitter. Broxton's main pitch is that slider. And here it comes.
Ground ball right back to Broxton. They'll run it over and flip it to Adams. 2 down. Be a part of Super Saturdays. This Saturday, the first 25,000 are going to get that Reds Garden Gnome, thanks to Miracle Grow. $12 you can catch the action. Reds and A's. For tickets, call 513-381-REDS or visit Reds.com. Billy Hamilton, his 2nd home run of the season last time up. It was a solo shot. Ramon Cabrera followed that with an RBI double, and that's where we stand. 6 runs for Cincinnati. Two for 4 in his career versus Broxton. Broxton also has 1 slam dunk into a trash can. These two will laugh about this matchup after the game, I guarantee it. Billy looking for a drag bunt. Volkswagen drive of the game in the 7th. Billy put a charge into 1. Off of Mike Leake. Look at the reaction. Doesn't hit many out, but when he does, always puts a jolt into his teammates, obviously. 1-1 the count. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Just caught the corner. Billy didn't think so. A 1-2 pitch. Foul back. 95-mile-per-hour heater. Comes the 1-2 again. Fouled off. No one warming up in the Reds bullpen, so it looks like the 9th is going to be Tony Cingrani's. Cingrani came on to record the last out in the 8th. One-two again. Foul back. We mentioned the pace of Jonathan Broxton, and it's not going to set the world on fire. dare I say, is a human rain delay.
Well, be careful. There might be an empty garbage can around here somewhere with your name on it.
I'm a little heavier than Hamilton, but I'm sure he could get the job done. He's a bigot. That's true. I'm just going to quiet down. Do your work, Jonathan. It's all good. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Nope, got a piece of it. Hamilton stays alive. Reds scored 4 in the 4th, 2 in the 7th. Cardinals 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 8th. And that's where we stand. Game 1 of a 3-game set. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming. Here it is. Just outside. 3-2. Pretty good battle here. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ground ball, left side. Diaz just gets him.
My. Brian Price is going to have them hold it for just a moment while he has the video man check that. Cardinals began to run off the field, and Price came right to the top, and he says, you know what? We're going to ask for a review right there. We think Billy was safe.
Well, at this point in the game, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, why not? And why take that review, keep it in your back pocket? Oh, he's safe. That's not even close. Now, if this one takes more than 30 seconds, we have a problem.
Well, the Cardinals are going back into position. So they're seeing it on the big board here at the ballpark.
And indeed, he is safe. Nice job all around. No reason for that to take longer than 1 look. That is Hamilton's 5th 3-hit game of the season. That is tied for the team lead with Cozart and Bruce. And now Ramon Cabrera. 2 outs and a man on. See the chest match here with Hamilton on first. Billy with 13 stolen bases on the season. He's been caught 3 times. Hamilton versus Molina here, perhaps. Broxton will throw over. If you'll remember, Hamilton stole his first 10 attempts against Molina were all successful. He's now 10 of 11 overall in his career versus Molina. And I believe his first one when he came up was against Yadier.
I believe it was too. There was a lot of drama around that stolen base.
There really was. Taking his lead. Won't go this time. Outside. 2-0. Insurance run right here would be nice. There goes Billy. They won't even throw down. Stolen base number 14, excuse me. Number 14 for Billy. Terrific jump. Molina didn't even get out of his crouch. Rio pitch to Cabrera. Billy's going for third. He'll be in there safely, and Cabrera walks. So 2 steals for Hamilton, a walk for Cabrera, and here comes Tyler Holt.
Hamilton running in this inning reminds me of what you see at a not-hole game. Of course, the Cardinals are not going to leave their position and let a little ground ball score another run. They're within 2, and they'd like to keep it that way.
Tyler Holt came into the game defensively in a double switch in the 8th, and now we'll take a crack at Jonathan Broxton. The 12 stolen bases now, Hamilton versus Molina, is the most by anyone against Yadier Molina. And we're talking about one of the best defensive catchers this game has ever seen. And Hamilton has been a thorn in his side. 0-1. There goes Cabrera from first. 3rd stolen base of the inning for the Reds. Cabrera getting in on the action.
Well, you can see in this inning why you can just simply throw out the stats on catchers about the number of attempted stolen bases and the numbers of succeeded stolen bases, because they're not even trying. They're worried about getting this 3rd out and nothing else. And an 0-2 count coming up.
Here comes inside.
Been a laboring inning for Broxton, who started it very quickly. A strikeout and a bounder back to him, and now he is ready to deliver pitch number 32.
And here it comes. Swing and a miss, and Broxton gets out of it. Reds will try to hold on to a 2-run lead as we go to the 9th.
Yours truly and Doug Flynn. It was a fantastic moment between father and son, Ramon Cabrera. I know that Chris Welsh knows all about that one. Plus, Brandon Phillips and Brad Keselowski, 2 of the best in their sports. Well, they traded something. What was it? Well, you're going to have to watch the show to see. And obviously this week, the passing of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. And some of the Reds players reflect on what he meant to them. That's all coming up on Reds Weekly tomorrow, 6 o'clock on Fox Sports Ohio. Now, back upstairs to Jim and Chris.
All right, Jeffrey, here we go. Tony Cingrani came in to record the final out of the 8th. He'll stay in and work the 9th, looking for a 6th save of the season.
Yeah, one of the important things here is that Cingrani's facing the bottom 3rd of the order. You've got, what, 7, 8, and 9 coming up. First is Yadier Molina.
First pitch to Molina, ball 1. Molina does have a home run in his career off of Cingrani. Leadoff base hit.
Well, how many times have we seen Molina do exactly that?
So Molina snapped an 0 for 21 skid Sunday. And now a big base hit for the Cardinals here. Pinch runner at first. Eric Fryer will come on to run for Molina. Tying run at the plate in Randall Grichuk.
Yeah, 7 home runs for Grichuk. He's got good power. He's a good fastball hitter. Although he's run into some problems lately. What I mean by that is they're trying to fix a little bit of an uppercut.
Another throw over.
I don't believe in a 2-run ball game the Cardinals would risk running themselves out of an inning. Cincinnati taking no chances.
First pitch ball to Grichuk. It's catcher running for catcher down at first base and Eric Fryer. Central Ohio product Eric Fryer. One and one, the count to Grichuk. In the air, should be a big out. Tyler Holt, one down. And now Jed Jerko will get his second AB of the game. .248 hitter, 6 home runs, 16 runs driven in. He's faced Cingrani one time in his career, 0 for 1. First pitch in there for a strike. Cingrani ahead 0-2.
Well, if the Reds are able to hold on and get a victory tonight, the Reds fans at Great American Ballpark will be celebrating with a brand new celebratory song.
You've been raving about this.
This one belongs to the Reds, recently written by Susan Warner, who also has written the soundtrack for Bull Durham.
Nice hard hit ball into left field, and the Cardinals are in business. 2 on, 1 out.
Well, let's not start that record player yet. Just a low fastball right there, very similar to the pitch that Yadier Molina punched into right field. Jerko gets it into left, and he will be lifted with a pinch runner.
Greg Garcia will run for Jerko. So the tying runs are aboard, and Matt Carpenter at the dish. Into left field, this is trouble. Past Duvall, bigger trouble. Tying run is going to come to the plate. Carpenter on his way to third, and he will be a dead duck. No, he's in there. 2 RBI triple Matt Carpenter, and we are tied at 6.
Now Carpenter sprays the ball all over the ballpark, and this goes right near the left field line, and it wasn't like Duvall misplayed that ball. It just that he was shifted around towards left center field. Carpenter hit it where he wasn't. Here's the play at third base. Does he get his left hand in there before Suarez gets him with the tag? Suarez immediately came up and motioned to the Reds dugout and said, hey, check this one out. Oh boy.
Tell you what,
that's a heck of a slide.
It really is. And I said prematurely that he was a dead duck because that's how the throw beat him there by a few steps. A terrific slide by Carpenter. He gets his hand in there, but it looks like it comes off, no, it hits his foot. Hits Suarez's foot. This is a big replay right here, because there's only 1 out in the inning. And Carpenter represents the go-ahead run if he's safe. So crew chief Jerry Meals on the horn with New York, along with third base umpire Sean Barber. Mike Matheny's club has come off the mat. They scored 3 in the 8th. Two already here in the 9th. And awaiting the decision from New York. And unfortunately for the Reds, this is the second straight game they've blown a 5-run lead. Here's the decision. Out. That's a big out. So credit Carpenter with a 2 RBI double. And a put out at third, and a big one. Put-out goes 7-4-5. Now Ledmus Diaz, first pitch pop-up. Phillips has it, but the damage done. Cardinals have tied it. Reds have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Been brought to you by Kroger. Stop by your neighborhood Kroger to save big store-wide. Great food, low prices at Kroger. And by Toyota. For over 30 offers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places. Oh, brand new ball game. Tied at 6. The Reds could have the last say in this one. And the lefty Kevin Siegrist on for the Cardinals.
Well, he'll face the top of the order. Zach Kozar makes his way into the batter's box. Siegrist this year 4-0 with a 2.3 earned run average. Very typical of this very hard throwing left-hander. One of the better left-handed relievers you'll find in all of baseball.
Zach Kozar 1 for 4 tonight. Last time up, RBI single. First pitch in there for a strike. Greg Garcia stayed into the game. He's playing third. Eric Fryer stays in to catch. Kozar has faced Siegrist twice in his career, has a hit. And the 1-1 pitch. 2-1.
Well, the Reds have seen Siegrist a lot over the years. He first appeared against the Reds in June of 2013. This will be his 25th game against the Reds, and most of those have been one-inning appearances or maybe just a couple of batters.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
When you say he's one of the better relievers around, you can see in 2014 obviously not. But last year 81 games, this year already 25 games. They ride him hard. And he usually delivers.
2-2 pitch to Zach Kozar. In the air, left center field. Holiday has it. 1 out in the Reds' 9th. And now Joey Votto. The numbers not good against Siegrist. 0 for 10, 6 punch-outs. Lefty versus lefty.
You know, there's 2 ways to look at that stat. One, you can say, well, 0 for 10, he's never going to get a hit. The other is he's one at-bat closer than delivering a big hit.
You could say he's due against Segrist. The baseball law of averages usually even out somewhere down the line. Can it be here?
Oh, especially when you've got a batter of the caliber of Votto.
Votto has a double tonight. Fly out, struck out twice. 2-0 pitch. Swinging away. Deep. Center field. That bad boy is gone! And the Reds win! Reds win! And the baseball law of averages indeed even out. Joseph Daniel Votto, walk-off home run, and the Reds win it over the Cardinals. Jeff Picoro standing by with tonight's hero.
Thank you very much, Jim Day. And boy, that's a great feeling when the fans are over here chanting your name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the sort of thing you have to earn. And I realize that, and every single day I come out here thinking about earning it for them.
Joey, you've really had a tough Joey. I tried to warn you on that one, and I'll warn you on this one. Look out, brother. Take your breath, you all right?
Yeah.
Joey, this is not an easy game, and against Segrist, you've not had a whole lot of success. What are you looking for against him when you go up in a situation like this?
Oh, man, he's a handful. I got him to a 2-0 count, and, I haven't been swinging well, and right now, getting behind me 3-0 is not a good look. I got a fastball, and I put a nice, tight, quick swing on it.
Joey, finally, to come back and win this game, you had a big lead. They come back in tight to come back and win. What's that say about this team? What's that mean to this team momentum-wise?
Man, we got to keep rolling, keep getting better, and, that's all I have to say about that, yeah.
Congratulations on a nice night.
Thank you.
Joey Votto, the hero again, as the fans chant his name, Jim.
5th career walk-off for Joey Votto. Just a rocket shot, a moonshot. Over the Reds bullpen in left center field. And a dramatic night for the Reds. After taking 3 out of 4 from Colorado, 2 out of 3 from Washington, the Reds take game 1 of this 3-game set against the Cardinals. We've got a lot to talk about. Reds Live, the post-game edition is on deck. The condo will be a rocket.